4:05. If you take a minute to go around and introduce yourselves, please.
Eric Dobbin, Commission Member.
Jeff Benscover, Alderman, District 4.
Madeline Palmquist, Alderperson, District 8.
Lee Tao, Commission Member.
Kyle Kearns, Director of Community Development.
Elizabeth Edwardson, Associate Planner for Community Development.
Dennis Pollock, City Alderman.
Matt Zacher, Mayor. Thank you. Item 1, approval of the report from May 6, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. What are your wishes?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Palmquist,
I'll second.
second by Davin. Any further questions, comments, errors that need to be pointed out? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, 5-0. Item 2, 24-000678, Hannah Center, request for a site plan review to construct a non-residential accessory building at 1320 Pepper Avenue, parcel ID 3412666. Kyle?
I'm going to turn it over to Lizzie to summarize. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So the request is for a site plan review to construct a non-residential accessory building. The existing building is currently being operated as a temporary residential shelter, which is a conditional use in the general commercial B2 district. Non-residential accessory buildings are permitted in the general commercial district, subject to site plan review and architectural review and zoning permit. The storage shed will be used for equipment, furniture, and lawn care items, and it is not considered an extension of the temporary residential shelter use. The storage shed will be approximately 160 square feet in total, composed of 2 8x10 prefabricated metal sheds into one 16x10 structure. So for the site plan and architectural standards of review, the proposed location of the shed is within a permeable area west of the existing building. The applicable dimensional standards appear to be met, including the setbacks. There are 2 points of access on the site, and the structure would have no impact on the site access. As I stated before, the building will be 2 prefabricated metal sheds combined into one structure. The structure will be approximately 6 feet in height, and because the structure does not exceed the 192 square feet, the exterior materials and roof lines are not required to match those of the principal building. And then parking, landscaping, and a lighting and photometric plan are not required for the accessory building. So our recommendation is to approve the site plan review to construct the non-residential accessory building with the following conditions. The building must meet all other required building standards for the general commercial B2 district. The accessory building shall be placed on a stable foundation and anchored appropriately to be approved by the Community Development Department. Applicable permits through the city shall be obtained, and the Community Development Department shall have the authority to approve minor modifications.
Any questions, comments? Seeing none, what are your wishes?
I'll make a motion to approve Plan 24-678 with the staff recommendations as outlined.
I have a motion by Davin,
I'll second.
a second by Palmquist. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, 5-0. Item 324-00. Oh. Sorry, Ben. Okay, sorry about that. Welcome. And that makes it 6-0. Okay, back to item 324-000679. SN Rams Hotel LLC request for an architectural review to install HVAC units at 451 East Grand Avenue, parcel ID 3407778, which falls within the Downtown Design Overlay District. Kyle?
Thank you. So this item is before you because the Mead Hotel was recently purchased. New ownership is looking to do PTAC units or PTAC devices in each of the units. And the units require an exterior penetration. Originally, they were going to penetrate the facade, I believe it was 42 or 48 inches. They've since reduced that down to 6 inches, so a hole that's 6 inches with a louver that'll go over the front. Because this is in our downtown, it falls within what's called the Downtown Design Review District. So the Design Review District exists to maintain some of the historic character and elements found within the downtown. This certainly was identified as a major improvement when it was larger, right, at 48 inches penetration, because it would exist under all of the windows in the units. So again, certainly a major improvement. I think it's a little reduced at 6 inches. Nonetheless, it still is proposed to exist on the northwest side of the hotel, under the windows and in the units. So you'll have several of these penetrations and louvers along the facade of the building, eventually on all floors. So we've deemed this also as being major, and thus requires this review in front of the Plan Commission for approval. Again, the staff report summarizes the request in a little bit more detail. There are some renderings that we've included in the presentation in the staff report, which you have in front of you. Ultimately, we feel as though this is appropriate. We recognize that with an older building like this, with an older aging infrastructure, HVAC system, PTAC units are common in all hotels, basically a separate heating and cooling unit. And most of those units do need to have some sort of exhaust or makeup air and have to have that louver or vent at some point along the facade. So we feel as though it could be blended into the side of the building, and we are recommending approval with a few conditions just to ensure that it does that. The conditions are as follows. Final louver design and size shall be submitted for approval by the Community Development Department. Louvers covering penetration shall not exceed 12 inches in height and width. Penetration shall exist within the same vicinity in each unit on exterior panels to create consistency and a matching design, and minor modifications to the facade improvements can be approved by the Community Development Department. We have also recommended that they be a color that's appropriate and matches the building. While it's not a condition, if you wanted to make it a condition, you could certainly add that. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Seeing none, what are your wishes?
I'll make a motion to approve Plan 24-679 as presented with staff recommendations, adding number 5 to have approved color by the Community Development Department to match.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Davin, second by Tao. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. 6-0. Thank you, Ben. Item 4, adjourn.
I just want to clarify, both motions were 5-0, as Jeff does not serve on the Plan Commission. He is in Alder, but not on the Plan Commission.
You just kind of fit right in there, didn't you? Sorry about that. So 5-0 on both of those votes, as well as, I'm assuming, the adjournment. What are your wishes on adjourning? Motion by Taos, seconded by Davin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Goujo? I'll go with 5, thank you, 5-0. Motion, meeting adjourned at 4:16.